I'm Shelley Duvall. Welcome to Fairy Tale Theater. Most of us probably think being a princess is a pretty good job. You get to live in a castle, wear expensive clothes, and eat great food. Trouble is, you have to behave like a princess all the time. Tonight's tale is about a princess who dared to ask, where does it say you can't have some fun once in a while? The princess who had never laughed.
Long ago, there lived a king who, ever since the death of his wife, spent all of his time acting very serious. He acted serious because he thought it was good for him and for his people. But most of all, he thought it was good for his only child, whom he wanted more than anything to be groomed and schooled as a serious-minded young prince.
Nice job, but next time, try it slower. Shall we offer a toast?
Yes, your seriousness.
And here's to you, young Hank, on this, your 21st birthday. How do you like the gift? Oh, no need to thank me. Armor is the perfect and proper gift for a serious student of the princely arts. Wear it with pride and responsibility. Let it shield you from diversion. For someday, Hank, all of this will be yours. The castle, the kingdom, the majesty. Quick, the helmet.
The trouble was, the king's only child was a girl.
Daddy, I have a little request. Just a teeny little request.
Certainly, Hank. What is it?
Do you think you could not call me Hank? It's Henrietta. Princess Henrietta.
Nonetheless, the king insisted that his daughter spend every waking hour studying courtly knowledge and manners in preparation for the day she would inherit his throne. For years, her only companions were her old weathered books and her old weathered tutor and royal governess.
Now, in summation, let us review the 3 S's of royal leadership. They are solemnity, severity, and sitting up straight. Now, any questions?
Yes. When's recess?
Recess? My, how cute. No, child, recess is for peasants. Homework is for princesses. Which reminds me, have this read by tomorrow morning.
What is it?
A dictionary.
Protocol. Lesson 1.
Permission granted.
Breathe from your diaphragm. Broaden your A. Permission granted.
Permission granted.
Hey. Get that nose in the air. You're a princess. They're peasants. Permission granted. Yes, well, it's coming. Shall we try lesson 2? Permission denied.
Now, one of the most important tasks for a ruler is to survey his realm. Now, straight down there, you'll see the kingdom, where the peasants live. And over there are the fields where the peasants work. And over there is the cemetery where the peasants are buried when they die.
How convenient.
Yes, when it comes to peasants, your father has thought of everything.
Professor, off there in the distance, what's that big yellow disc that's about to drop down behind those green rolling things?
That's the sun.
Oh, yeah. I read about that.
At that moment, the princess longed to leave the palace and walk among the peasants freely. She would have been sadly disappointed, for the peasants were every bit as serious-minded as her father. Under his stern rule, they spent all their time practicing 3 skills: getting up early, slaving all day, and going straight to bed. Which made it a pretty quiet town. No singing, no dancing, no joking, no laughing. And if anyone ever did laugh, people figured there was something wrong with them. They also figured it was Wienerhead Waldo.
Hey, you clowns, I'm trying to read. Wienerhead, stop mimicking me with that pig.
You mean Boris? That's so weird, because Boris thought that you were mimicking him.
Wienerhead Waldo, the son of Farmer Silas, was a decent and good-hearted lad, but people called him Wienerhead because he hung out with animals and talked to pigs and was always telling stories and cracking jokes.
Don't you ever think about the future?
Yeah, Lionel, it cracks me up.
He particularly annoyed his brother Lionel.
Will you kids come to bed?
But, Father, I have more reading to do.
Oh, Lionel, you're always reading.
That's right, Gwendolyn, I'm always reading. Because unlike Waldo, I have drive and ambition. Someday I'm going to be the smartest person in this kingdom, and I'll outsmart all my competitors and become the richest person in this kingdom. You see, Gwendolyn, it's important to have goals.
He's right, Gwendolyn. You know, Boris has a goal, Lionel. I mean, it's not a big goal like yours.
And
it's just
what,
a small
might I
goal.
ask, is that?
Well, his goal is to be the smartest person in this room.
Wienerhead, you need help.
We all need sleep. Now come to bed. We have a full day tomorrow. We have to get up early, slave all morning, slave all afternoon, slave all evening, and then go straight to bed.
Gee, tomorrow must be Thursday.
Back at the palace, the princess was trying hard to be as serious-minded as the king wished. But being a 21-year-old girl, sometimes it seemed like her mind had a mind of its own. One night, when they were all playing a particularly tedious parlor game called Purposeful Pursuit, something rose up inside her that she didn't even know was there.
What is the proper punishment for a man who falls asleep whilst bowing to the king? Starts with F.
Forced to play this game.
Oh.
Flogging by pelts is the correct answer.
What's the matter, dear? Aren't you feeling well?
Daddy, I don't know what I'm feeling. May we stop the game a minute? I have a question.
Oh, eh?
Today, whilst I was reading the dictionary, I came across this word. Entertainment. What is entertainment?
Entertainment. Well, it's like amusement, you know, dancing, buffoonery.
Tomfoolery,
It's stuff that peasants do.
What's dancing?
Oh, well, dancing is, I believe, a primitive ritual of courtship.
What's courtship?
The point is that these are all frivolous diversions for which a serious-minded young princess has no time.
Yeah, but Dad, I'm also a girl, and girls just want to... They want to, Well, see, that's the problem. I don't know what it is girls want.
Hank.
I think it has something to do with ribbons or something.
Henrietta, yes, you are a girl. And I think most girls would give their right arm to be a princess.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they give their right arm to do nothing but study and memorize dictionaries all day.
Now, princess.
And then they give their right leg to be cooped up in this dreary old castle surrounded by dreary old people.
That is enough.
No friends, no visitors. I feel like a prisoner who's been sentenced to hard labor for life.
Prisoner? What rubbish! Now you go to your room, you ungrateful child, before I get really angry and suspend your library privileges.
Oh, I wish.
Think we may be in for some trouble.
The king didn't know the half of it. He didn't know about young girls, and he didn't know about Wienerhead Waldo, who possessed the strange power to make work seem like play.
Read everything he can see. Oh, a pig is a person like you and me.
A pig is a person like you and me.
Now you may say he's greedy, and you may say he's lazy, and you may say he's sloppy, and slimy, and crazy. But I would simply ask, well, what about thee?
What about thee?
A pig is a person like you and me.
Cats and rats and rats and rats and rats and gnats and gnats.
Pig is a person like you and me. He wants to be happy, he wants to be free, he wants to eat everything he can see. Oh, a pig is a person like you and me. You may say he's greedy, and you may say he's lazy, and you may say he's sloppy, and slimy, and crazy, but I would simply ask, well, what about thee?
Listen to Wienerhead. I don't believe the way he carries on.
He works very hard.
I don't mean that, Father. I mean his incessant laughing and fooling around. These are hard times. We live under a stern and serious king. Our mother is dead.
That's very sad.
Life is no joke, Pop. Yet Waldo just keeps laughing along as if it were.
I'll admit he's different.
He's not different. He's abnormal. And someday when I'm very rich, I'm gonna pay for a doctor to come and cure Waldo of his laughter.
Oh, I don't think doctors have a cure for laughter. There's not much demand for it. Although I seem to remember a case where a doctor cured a woman of smiling.
How?
He sent her his bill.
Meanwhile, at the castle, Princess Henrietta was about to realize her father's worst fears. She was about to act her age.
This is most peculiar. She's never been late before.
Perhaps I should start without her.
What good would that do?
Well, you might learn something.
Why would I want to learn that boring stuff? I'm not a princess.
This is true.
You wait here. I'm going to check her bedroom. Princess! What's going on in there? Are you all right?
Yes, ma'am. I was, just, finishing my homework.
But what was all that noise I heard?
Noise? Oh, I was just, picking up my room. Just give me a couple of minutes.
But didn't I hear some singing?
Singing? Oh, no. I was praying, ma'am. Now, I just have a couple of more prayers and just a little bit more homework. I'll throw my room back together and I'll be right along. You, can go back to the library.
Perhaps I could be of some assistance. Princess!
Oops.
What in the world is going on here?
I'm having fun.
Fun?
Fun? Yeah, look it up. It's What's in the dictionary?
Never given you that dictionary. This is a hideous way for a princess to act. What is that on your face?
Eyeshadow, rouge, lip gloss. It's all the latest from Paris.
What is that horrible aroma?
Oh, Chanel #1.
You look and smell like a common peasant girl, and after all I've taught you.
Hey, lay a heavy guilt trip on me, why don't you?
Heavy? Guilt trip? Is that something you picked up on the coast?
No, I've never even been to the coast. I've never been outside this palace. I want to laugh and sing and dance with young men. I'm a normal, healthy girl with the needs and desires of a normal, healthy girl. And it's not fair for you to torment me just because you never were one yourself.
You insulting, ill-mannered, impudent little wretch. You're coming with me, and when I am through with you, you're going to be me.
I'll be what?
You will be a princess.
Oh.
You may begin. Mathematics is the science of quantity and space. And by science, of course, we mean a deductive science, a methodology wherein hypothesis leads to conclusion. Now, the object of this science, and indeed its aesthetic delight, is to create order out of chaos, to extract a sense of structure and permanence out of turmoil and disarray. Oh, my word.
You keep away from me, you calcified cretins, princess!
No spook of the world's knowledge!
Oh, good. Well, then let's return them to the world. Come on, geography. Hi, history. Morals and manners. Take a hike.
Your seriousness!
Don't start with me.
What's going on here?
It was all your daughter's fault.
She abused palace property.
And she called us cretins.
She defiled literature.
All right. Princess,
Daddy, you know, I love you very much. And I've always tried to do the right thing and obey your wishes and be the good little princess that you could be proud of. But I've had enough to hear with palace life.
look, you're a princess. The palace goes with the territory. I don't mind telling you, I've spent a good deal of my fortune providing you with the finest palace life available.
Yeah, but Daddy, education isn't enough. I want to be amused. I want to be entertained. Just a couple of laughs, Dad. Is that too much to ask?
They always said an only child would be difficult.
What about an only parent? You think that's been a picnic?
Hey, we both miss your mother, okay? But let me tell you something about her. She didn't go around moaning and groaning about the responsibilities of office. She didn't find this horrible palace life a big problem.
Yeah, she had a solution. She died.
Governess, that's it. That is it. You are to lock the princess in her room, no food, no drink, and no company until she apologizes.
Okay. I apologize. I'm sorry for my ill-considered actions and words this morning. Father, I beg your forgiveness.
What?
You fools! You think that locking me in my room is some kind of punishment after I've been locked in this palace all my life? Oh, I'll just lock myself in.
After her. Come back here.
Henrietta,
Come out! Open this door! Have you lost your mind?
No, I've lost my sense of humor.
So?
So I'm not coming out until you bring me someone to make me laugh.
Do you have something in your mouth?
Yeah, the key. And I'm going to swallow it if you don't bring me someone to make me laugh.
You've got to be kidding!
No, Daddy, I've never been more serious. That's the whole problem. Now, if you don't do exactly as I say, you'll never see me again.
Well, the king was in a bind. Laughter was not his specialty. Being a royal leader, he scoured the kingdom for someone to blame, and he found the tutor, the governess, and himself.
For all our wisdom, we know nothing of a young girl's needs. And I just hope it's not too late to save her.
Save her from what?
From becoming one of us. Guard!
Yes, your seriousness?
Bring me the town crier.
Right.
I have a plan. It's just crazy enough to work. Be like a contest. We'll summon all the funny men from all the kingdoms, and the first man that can make my daughter laugh wins a prize.
Most ingenious.
Does the winner have to be a man?
I would prefer it. The prize is my daughter.
The town crier, sir.
This is the town crier?
Yes, sir.
Boy, has this town gotten serious.
Meanwhile, over dinner at Farmer Silas's, Lionel continued to expound on weighty matters, and Waldo continued to play with his food.
All I'm saying is it's a jungle out there. And under this king, things are going to get more serious. So, contacts are important.
Well, Boris has an uncle in Nottingham, Lionel. Oh, why don't you answer that? That could be opportunity.
Hi, I'm the Royal Guard. I work at the palace. You folks got a minute?
Why, yes, come in. I'm Lionel, a serious scholar and entrepreneur. That's my father, Silas, a serious and dedicated farmer. That's my little sister, Gwendolyn, who plans to be serious when she grows up. And that's Waldo, a very distant cousin.
Evening, gents. Lady, I bring an official request from your king.
Certainly. How may we be of service to his seriousness?
Well, do you know any jokes, riddles, limericks, impressions, monologues, one-liners, double entendres, puns, pantomimes, shtick?
Are we talking about the same king?
Is his seriousness well?
Look, I only deliver the messages, okay? The king is holding a palace laugh-off tomorrow night. He wants to make his daughter, the princess, laugh. She's in some sort of royal funk. I don't understand it myself. But the first guy that can make her laugh wins her hand in marriage. And I think there's some big bucks in there, too.
What do runners-up get?
10 years in the dungeon.
That seems rather stiff.
Hey, that's showbiz. Anyway, I gotta run. 4 more kingdoms to cover. Have a nice night.
Waldo,
What, Gwendolyn?
I've got a great idea.
What is it?
You could enter the contest. You're the funniest man in the whole world.
But that's the palace. I couldn't play the
I think
palace.
you should, Wienerhead. You in the dungeon for 10 years would sure solve a lot of my problems.
Lionel, you're nuts. Waldo will win for sure. Well, Waldo, will you do it? Will you tell your funny stories to the princess? Please?
I'll think about it, okay, Gwendolyn?
Just remember, if you do go, you won't be going alone.
I won't?
You'll be taking Boris.
Billy of Bartus.
Finally, the night of the great palace laugh-off arrived. Funny people from throughout the land, funny talkers, funny walkers. Some people who just looked funny, assembled at the palace to perform before the toughest audience of their lives, the princess
Princess, the people to make you laugh are here.
What people?
The funniest people in all the land. I've had them rounded up, and the throne room is awash with wackos.
This had better be good, Dad, or I'm coming straight back to my room.
Trust me, sweetheart, these guys are great. Shall we?
No tricks.
All right, now, before we get rolling here, I'd just like to see how well you people can applaud, okay? Let's put our hands together and give us a round. Come on! Hey, you in the back, I can really hear it! Come on! Right, you're a beautiful audience. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest hosts for this evening. You know them, we love them. Let's have a royal welcome for the king and the princess. Come on,
My loyal subjects, life without laughter is like a dinner without wine. Normally, it's not necessary, but a little now and then probably wouldn't hurt. Anyway, my daughter here desires some amusement, and so, for her benefit and the benefit of us all, let the laugh-off begin. Barry!
Our first contestant is one of the brightest stars of the new comedy, coming to us from the Forest District, where he never fails to make an impression. I give you Mockingbird Maurice.
Your seriousness before I begin, may I say that it is my greatest wish that my humble talents will be sufficient to make your daughter laugh, for I can think of no greater blessing than to have this beautiful creature as my bride.
Are you mad? Daddy, what's he talking about?
I meant to tell you, whoever wins the contest gets your hand in marriage. It's the standard arrangement.
You mean the moment I laugh at this jerk, I gotta marry him?
Stop projecting. Just relax and watch. You may make us laugh.
As you know, there's a saying that imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and this means I've been flattering the nobles throughout the kingdom for a few years now, and I think it's about time some of them started to flatter me back.
Well, I know that right out here on our stage, a really fine young mimic from the forest region is really here for him.
He makes me proud to say that I was once the king. That's because he's not from my kingdom.
Honestly, the kid's terrific. Even my manservant Rochester likes him.
The kid is good. He's very, very good, sweetheart.
Hey, yo, Your Majesty, what do you think? You should go out with him, maybe get a little fight here, you know what I mean? Because he ain't a little buff, yo.
So until next week, Your Humorousness, let me say, nano, he's mine.
I tell you, I get no respect. I don't know respect at all.
I'll be appearing next week in the dungeon. Thank you very much.
You don't seem to be enjoying this.
I can't believe that you would do this to me. Barter me off like a piece of property.
But, Princess, I did it for you. I wanted you to have some amusement, to enjoy the funniest comedians and the finest material. In order to get that, I had to offer my most valuable possession. Next.
Our next contestant has created big waves in the lake region. We don't know when they'll let him out. We never know what he's gonna say. Let's get ready for William the Weird. Here he is.
You're probably wondering why I'm wearing a strange hat. Well, I don't know, it just seemed to fit, you know? But it's amazing what you can do with a little imagination and your very own rat tail brush. For instance, maybe you've seen in your garden this almost extinct creature roaming around. A unicorn. Or perhaps we can take a look at a map of the world as we know it. Maybe out there in the chicken yard, you have seen this creature roaming around looking for a bite to eat. I'm sorry, Your Seriousness. I didn't actually make her laugh, but she did smile a couple times. Maybe we could just go steady. What do you say?
Lose him, Barry.
In the dungeon, I guess.
He was rather funny.
Yes, Daddy, he was very funny, but I don't want to live with him. I'm not sure that I could live with any comedian. Underneath, they're probably all neurotic.
Just try to have an open mind. Barry, who's in our third slot today?
Our next contestant needs no introduction. Mr. Ambassador of Comedy. His humanitarian work entertaining our boys at the Crusades is legion. Not to mention his many plague benefits. He's a talented serf and a beautiful human being. I give you Phlegmatic Jack! Yes!
Your Highness, fair princess, my comedy is at your disposal. And now, on with the fun. Shall we start with a riddle? What did the one-eyed frog say to the crocodile in the pond? Well, that's just a small sample of some of the hilarity we'll be sharing together in the next few minutes or A funny thing happened on my way to the palace. A beggar approached me and said, "Sire, can I have 200 quid?" I said, "What are you going to do with 200 quid?" He said, "What do you care what I do with my money?" My girl is so fat, when she sits around the house, she sits around the house. There's a joke comedians will be using thousands of years from now. In fact, my girl is so ugly, I take her with me every place I go. It's better than kissing her goodbye.
How dare you treat women with such disrespect?
Princess, please.
It's only a joke.
Yeah, well, I'd rather die serious than live the joke of life with you would be. I'm going to my room.
Princess. Oh, this isn't working at all. Thank you very much for coming, everyone. Guard, release the men from the dungeon and tell everyone to go home.
That's it.
That's right.
I thought you were the best.
I don't know what to do. It was my last shot.
Your Seriousness, perhaps you can make her laugh.
Me? You must be joking. Would you laugh at me?
Well, we're paid sycophants, so it wouldn't count.
Yes, this is true. Still, I suppose I should give it a try. Oh, yeah. Well. Ah! Oh! Yes. Owa.
Owa.
Tagu.
Tagu.
Siam.
Siam.
Yes, now say them all together.
Owa. Tagu.
No, faster.
Owa Tagu Siam.
See?
Oh, so I'm a goose, am I? Well, you go ahead and laugh. I'll just stay in here and honk.
Oh, what's the use? I'm no good at these jokes, Henrietta. Please open the door.
It's too late, Daddy. I'll never make you happy. I'll never be like Mommy.
Listen up, baby. I didn't tell you the whole story about your mom. See, the thing is, you're just like she was. That's why I don't want to lose you.
What? Mom was just like me?
She loved to laugh and have fun. When we were first married, laughter was all you could hear around the palace. In fact, it was laughter that killed her.
What happened? happened?
Well, we'd been partying one night. And, we'd eaten a great deal and had a bit much to drink. I told your mother a joke that had her rolling in the Royal Isles. I think it was the "oh, what a goose I am" routine.
Wow, she must have really been in love.
Anyway, she'd eaten so much and laughed so hard that she broke a stay in her corset. So the next day we summoned the royal corseteer, and he rushed right over to the palace. It was raining outside, a terrible day, and he fixed her corset. Just as he was leaving, your mother noticed that he'd forgotten his thimble. So she put it on her finger, and she went running after him in the rain, crying, "Corseteer, corseteer," waving the thimble at him. She was immediately struck down by lightning.
Oh, how terrible.
If I hadn't made her laugh, your mother would still be alive. And so I banished laughter from the kingdom until today.
It's the saddest story I ever heard. And I'll never be able to laugh.
Oh, no, Princess, that's not true. But you and I, we can... Guard, can you get that, please? Henrietta, when your mother died, it was like the laughter left my heart. Please don't make me go through it again. Please, open the door.
I don't know, Dad. I'm gonna have to think about it.
You can't go in there! I tried to stop him, your seriousness.
This is a nice place. Sorry I'm late, King. It's just that I have to feed the pigs.
Who is this man?
Oh, I'm Waldo, sir, son of Farmer Silas. And I don't mean to barge in. It's just that Boris and I are here to make the princess laugh.
Boris?
Oh, the pig, sir. He's my partner. Well, he comes up with the material.
Pig, who's a writer? That's a switch.
Well, you heard the expression "chow down"? Was his?
Very amusing, son, but I'm afraid the laugh-off is over. And besides, I can't see my daughter marrying a pig farmer.
But it won't take long, and your daughter doesn't even have to marry me. It's just that I promised Gwendolyn that I would try to make the princess laugh.
I don't think it would work. My daughter is in a foul mood.
Who's Gwendolyn?
Well, she's my little sister. She's the one who made me come. I wasn't gonna, but you know how little sisters are.
Not really, no.
Well, they're wonderful to play with, and they think that everything you do and everything you say is hilarious, and you love them so much that when they ask you to do something, you can't refuse. And she thinks I'm funny, so here I am.
Well, okay. Let's see your stuff. Daddy?
Certainly, my princess. A guard, get the room ready and reassemble the throng.
Yes, your seriousness. Oh, your seriousness. Are you sure you want the crowd recalled? I mean, he's just a pig farmer.
It's my daughter's request. Besides, she doesn't have to marry the guy.
Good evening, and welcome to a special encore presentation of the Great Palace Laugh-Off. Yeah! And tonight, we have an exciting new local talent. Some of you may know him. Wienerhead Waldo and his amazing pig Boris. Let's hear it.
Princess, so this is a palace. This is a real nice place. It is a nice place. It's a little gloomy, but it's a roof, right? and this place reminds me of a story that I like to tell. Oh, I should say it reminds Boris of a story that we'd like to tell.
But Boris can talk?
Sure, talk, think, eat, you know, a pig. Anyways, this is one of our favorite stories, and it goes like this, okay? Once upon a time, there was this princess, and she lived in a palace with her dad, who was the king. That's a coincidence, her dad and the king. Anyways, this king spent all his time acting serious. And he had to spend all his time and all his energy acting serious because when you're the king and you own everything, I mean, you got a castle, and you got all this gold, and you got all this power, well, it's pretty hard not to laugh, right? I mean, even people with nothing, like peasants, they laugh sometimes. Well, not in this kingdom, but normally they do. And if nothing else, they laugh at the king, because kings are hilarious. I mean, think about it. Yeah, I'm going to tell them. Think about it. Everything they do and everything they say, like every battle they wage and every tax they levy, they say it's for the good of the people, right? Like,
Oh, I think I'll make life serious. The people will really benefit. Oh, I think I'll take away all their money and send them off to die. Yeah, the people will like that.
Meanwhile, the people are going, give me a break! It's hilarious. And, okay, yeah, I know this part, right? And the princess also lived in the palace with a governess. And this governess, I mean, she was from the Sourpuss Hall of Fame. I mean, she was always saying things like, lift that pinky, keep that nose in the air! Right? I guess it was her job to make sure that the princess's pinky and nose were always in the right place and not together, if you know what I mean. And, oh yeah, that's a good part. She also lived with a tutor. She had a tutor. And this tutor, I mean, one way to describe this tutor would be weird. And another way to describe this tutor would be weird. And his idea of a joke was E equals MC not squared. Ha! Anyways, the princess, here's the story, right? She's living in the palace doing all princess stuff, right? And one day in the library, she goes crazy. She starts tearing up books and she throws ink bottles at the tutor and the governess, right? She goes bananas, right? And then she locks herself in her room. Good idea, princess, right? And then the king is really nervous, right? So he goes to the door and he says to the princess, you know, what's wrong, princess? And she goes, because she's got a key in her mouth, right? You gotta, I know, okay. So now picture this, all right? We got the palace is filled with crazies, right? Including the princess, who is goofy herself. I mean, she's beautiful, but she's goofy. We got the king who goes, let's make life serious. People will really benefit. We got the governess who goes, lift that pinky. We got the tutor who goes, equals MC not squared. And we got the princess herself going, I mean, the palace is filled with walking jokes. And this is, okay, let me tell it. This is my favorite part, all right? The princess says, this is what she says, walking jokes, and she says, bring me someone to make me laugh. That's what she says. The end.
And so the princess who had never laughed now laughed at Waldo's simple truth. And the truth was this, that the person who made her laugh was, in fact, herself. The more she thought about it, the more she kept on laughing.
Let's bring out the food. I want to eat and laugh.
Be sure to loosen your corset.
Oh, Daddy, that was your first joke.
I don't get it.
My son, you have done well, and you shall be rewarded.
Yes, I'd like Waldo to stay for dinner.
Well, I was thinking of something more substantial.
So was I. I'd like Waldo to stay forever.
What?
You don't have to.
My daughter marry a pig farmer?
She doesn't have to.
Yes. If he'll have me.
Princess, allow me to say something serious. for the first time in my life. Yes.
Daddy?
Now, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You're asking for my royal blessing for your marriage to this pig farmer, which I suppose means that the pig farmer would be living here in the royal palace with his pig, whom he claims is a comedy writer. And I suppose that the entire pig farming family would be dropping by from time to time for a little swine and cheese. And the pig's pen pals would no doubt go hog wild at the idea of a night of pork jokes in the palace. Who knows? Maybe we'll be eating royal banquets out of a trough. I guess the sky's the limit around here. In my wildest dreams, I never sausage a marriage. Princess, you're baking my heart.
And so they were betrothed. In the history of the kingdom, no one could remember a wedding day that was happier or sillier.
My good friend, please welcome the newest member of our royal family, Prince Waldo. I have not lost a daughter. I have gained a pig. But seriously, friends, I have gained something very, very important. With Waldo, laughter has returned to the castle. Henceforth, instead of being addressed as your seriousness, I would prefer to be addressed as your mirthness. I know it sounds a little weird, but it's what I want.
Yes, your mirthness.
Very good. And now, let's get down.
From that day on, laughter became the rage throughout the kingdom. People got up early, laughed all day, went straight to bed, and kept on laughing. The governess laughed. The tutor laughed. Even Lionel fooled around with it. And all the land was filled with the sound of slapstick and pratfalls and practical jokes and occasionally even a bad pun. And everyone laughed happily ever after.
Waldo?
Yes, Princess?
Is that a true story?
Well, don't take my word for it. Ask Boris.